said the greatest potential of me is we. So I just want to come fit in with these guys and just do my part. I had a great meeting with the coach yesterday and said, look, I'm not a ball freak. I'm not going to be asking for 30, 40 touches. I just want to fit in.
This is Shaquille O'Neal, a charismatic giant who transformed basketball with his sheer dominance and personality. 4-time NBA champion, 15-time All-Star, and one of the most unstoppable forces to ever step foot on the hardwood. But what truly stands out about this larger-than-life character is his deep respect and admiration for players who could hold their own, surprise him, and even push him further. So, let's dive into some of Shaq's favorite basketball players of his career and what made each relationship so special. Penny Hardaway, the smooth magician. When Shaq talks about Penny, it's impossible not to feel the blend of nostalgia and regret in his words. The best teammate I ever had, Shaq once said about Penny.
Look and see who Penny was. And remember, Penny came in day one like this. Penny is a mixture of all the other guys that I played with. At times, he was like D-Wade because he could just take over the game.
Who was more than just a running mate. He was Shaq's brother on the court. Together, they electrified basketball during the Magic's golden era in the mid-90s, a time when Orlando was the epicenter of pure, unfiltered basketball dominance. Penny's style was graceful, yet lethal, combining an unstoppable offensive arsenal with the ability to make teammates thrive. He was versatile enough to outplay guards using his height and smart enough to outthink defenses using his IQ. Shaq often compared him to Magic Johnson, calling him magic that could score. High praise, especially from someone who would go on to win championships with other superstars. The two young stars combined for an unforgettable NBA Finals run in 1995, dominating teams like MJ's Chicago Bulls and the powerhouse Pacers along the way. The chemistry was undeniable, high-flying alley-oops, smooth pick-and-rolls, and their unspoken understanding of where each would be on the court. Shaq and Penny were Magic's ticket to the big leagues, a duo that rivaled the best. But injuries cut this story short. Penny's knees betrayed him, and the Magic dynasty that could have ruled basketball for years crumbled. Shaq left for Los Angeles, and Penny fought through surgeries and setbacks, never truly recapturing his brilliance. Shaq often reflects on their bond, saying, "If Penny was healthy, we might have been the greatest 1-2 punch ever." Their connection goes down as one of basketball's biggest what-ifs, leaving fans wondering just how many banners they could have hung together. Kobe Bryant, the ruthless warrior. No list of Shaq's favorite players would even exist without the inclusion of his polar opposite, Kobe Bryant. Yeah, that's right. Shaq and Kobe were basketball's ultimate paradox, the most dominant force paired with a rock-solid scoring machine. While they clashed off the court, their chemistry on the hardwood created one of the most unstoppable dynasties in NBA history. Starting in the early 2000s, they won 3 consecutive championships, leaving opponents scrambling for answers to one simple question. How do you stop them? No, you couldn't. Kobe is the best one-on-one player I ever saw, Shaq once said.
When I challenged him, he stepped up. For example, last game we were messing around. So, hey, man, I need you to get 50, and he went out and got 60. But, whenever I got double and triple, he's the first guy I'm looking for. This play right here, I was telling him all night, hey, I know when you get to the hole.
Though the road to trust between them wasn't easy, Shaq recalls being awed by young Kobe's confidence. He was 19 years old, and he told me he wanted to be the GOAT, Shaq remembered. That relentless drive, the Mamba mentality, often frustrated Shaq, who preferred to dominate naturally, while Kobe pushed every limit. Yet, Shaq admits Kobe's work ethic made him proud, not just momentarily, but for their entire partnership. Their three-peat years involved ego clashes, locker room drama, and high-pressure playoff runs, but they thrived when it mattered. Finals MVP for Shaq, clutch game-winning shots by Kobe. It was basketball poetry. Even their battles with franchises like the Kings, Spurs, and Pacers became basketball one-on-one for fans learning the art of teamwork under duress. The duo couldn't last forever. Shaq wanted the spotlight, and Kobe wanted his independence. Shaq left after their bitter breakup, moving on to Miami for another championship, while Kobe chased individual accolades. But years later, their reconciliation came full circle. Kobe matured into the leader Shaq always knew he could be, and together, they redefined Lakers lore as basketball equals, leaving behind a dynasty unparalleled in dominance. Allen Iverson, the fearless underdog. Shaq has often called Allen Iverson one of the toughest competitors he ever faced. He was a warrior, pound for pound, the best player ever, Shaq said in interviews. And looking at Iverson, it's hard to argue. Standing just 6 feet tall and weighing 165 pounds, Iverson wasn't built for dominance, but that didn't stop him from becoming the embodiment of courage on the court. Iverson's reputation for pushing boundaries, breaking ankles, and defying expectations made him a player Shaq deeply respected. He wasn't scared of anybody, Shaq recalled. Iverson played like a man possessed, attacking defenders twice his size, weaving through traffic, and finishing with jaw-dropping finesse that left fans and opponents stunned. For Shaq, watching Iverson meant marveling at the raw determination he brought every night, as if he truly believed he could take on the world. And oftentimes, he did. Iverson's crossover wasn't just a move. It was an artwork that could humble even the best defenders, including Michael Jordan. One of Iverson's defining moments came in the 2001 NBA Finals, when he carried the Philadelphia 76ers alone to face Shaq's Lakers. While Shaq and Kobe's Lakers were unstoppable that series, Iverson left his mark with a dazzling Game 1 performance, dropping 48 points and pulling off the iconic step-over on Tyronn Lue. Shaq later said, "I wouldn't want to guard him. He was relentless."
Allen Iverson, what was y'all relationship like?
He was a dog. He's probably one of the only guys I couldn't punk. Like most guys, when I block their shot, they won't come back in. He come in every time. I'm upset at him because he messed up history.
Even in defeat, Iverson earned Shaq's admiration for his talent and grit, proving he could stand toe-to-toe with the Lakers dynasty. Despite his smaller stature and unconventional approach, Iverson's heart defined his legacy. He wasn't just a competitor. He was a symbol of how confidence and courage can triumph over physical limitations. Shaq will always remember Iverson as a player who never backed down, and one who left defenders shaking their heads in disbelief night after night. Vince Carter, the aerial legend. "You already know what it is. Half man, half amazing," Shaq said about Vince Carter, one of the most electrifying players the game has ever seen. For Shaq, Vince wasn't just a dunker. He was an artist whose gravity-defying athleticism amazed fans and players alike. Carter's ability to dominate rim after rim was about finesse, creativity, and undeniable magic that Shaq couldn't help but admire. Every time he was on the court, something exciting was bound to happen, Shaq once shared.
November 21st, 1999. He tried to make you look stupid.
Vince Carter goes baseline, and if you know about guys like Vince and T-Mac, they don't need much to get up. Just a little.
The moment that cemented Vince's name in basketball immortality came during the 2000 NBA Slam Dunk Contest. Fans around the world watched him defy the laws of physics, throwing down dunks that no one thought were possible. The one that left Shaq speechless was when Carter put his entire arm through the hoop, standing at mid-court with a grin that told everyone he knew he had just broken the mold of what dunking could be. Shaq later joked, "I was clapping like a little fanboy that day. I couldn't believe it." But Carter was more than just highlight reels and jaw-dropping dunks. Vince expanded his skill set to become one of the most well-rounded players in the NBA. On the Raptors, he was an offensive genius capable of scoring from anywhere. And when Shaq faced him, he knew stopping Vince meant not only defending the rim, but chasing him around the perimeter too. Vince had crazy versatility, Shaq says. That's why he lasted so long. Carter's career lasted over 2 decades, showing that his legacy wasn't built solely on dunks. It was built on his adaptability and love for the game. For Shaq, Vince was a symbol of basketball at its most exciting and beautiful. He made the game fun, Shaq said, and that's something every player should strive for. Tracy McGrady, the smooth assassin. What set T-Mac apart was how easy he could take over a game, and not just any game, but the ones where defenses threw everything at him. Shaq was blown away by McGrady's ability to score in bunches, no matter the obstacles in his path. McGrady was the definition of unguardable. Standing at 6'8", with incredible length, athleticism, and a smooth jumper, T-Mac had every tool at his disposal, and he used them with precision. For Shaq, the defining moment of McGrady's brilliance came on December 9th, 2004, when T-Mac pulled off the impossible. Playing against the Spurs, one of the NBA's toughest defensive teams, McGrady scored 13 points in just 33 seconds to steal the game. "I couldn't believe it," Shaq said later. "That was legendary." Watching T-Mac hit absurd threes, draw fouls, and calmly drain clutch shots, Shaq saw firsthand how unbeatable McGrady could be when he entered God mode. For a player like Shaq, who dominated through sheer physicality, McGrady's quiet confidence and fluid style represented something equally powerful, with total dominance. Even under double teams and constant pressure, T-Mac made the game look easy, a quality Shaq constantly praised. He never seemed fazed by anything. He just went out there and got buckets, Shaq said. Though injuries cut McGrady's prime short, his legacy lives on as one of the smoothest and most unstoppable scorers in NBA history. T-Mac embodied a level of skill that was both electrifying and awe-inspiring, cementing him as one of the all-time greats in Shaq's eyes. He was special man, one of the best I ever saw. Jason Williams, the Wizard of the Style. White chocolate wasn't just a basketball nickname. It was an identity that defined Jason Williams as one of the flashiest players to ever step on the hardwood. To Shaq, Williams brought life to the game, adding flair and entertainment in ways that captured fans' imaginations. He made basketball fun again, Shaq once said, marveling at Williams' creativity. Whether it was his behind-the-back assists, jaw-dropping elbow passes, or no-look dishes, Jason turned the act of moving the ball into highlights that left arenas buzzing. Jason Williams wasn't your typical point guard or putting up massive scoring numbers. His magic happened in the moments between baskets when his unrivaled court vision and playmaking skills made teammates better. Williams didn't just create opportunities, he created excitement. Shaq, who played with him during their days with the Miami Heat, openly admired his ability to see plays develop before they even happened. Every pass was like a trick, but it got the job done, Shaq explained. One moment that epitomizes Williams' genius was his legendary elbow pass during the 2000 Rookie Challenge. For fans, it was like watching a magician pull off a disappearing act, except the assist ended with a basket. Shaq described it as something you show your kids and say, "That's how you keep the game fun." That's exactly what Jason Williams did, create joy while still being effective. In 2006, Williams played a critical role for the Heat, helping Shaq win his fourth championship. While Shaq dominated the paint, it was Williams' ability to control the tempo, find teammates in the right spots, and ignite fast breaks that gave Miami its edge. For Shaq, Jason Williams was proof that basketball is just as much about artistry as it is about power. Watching him was like watching Picasso paint, Shaq says. It wasn't always conventional, but it was always unforgettable. Shaq's respect for these players goes beyond their accomplishments. He valued their unique styles and ability to make the game exciting. It's not just about talent. For Shaq, it's about the heart and love for basketball. Each player he admired had a defining trait that he couldn't ignore, and through these relationships, we get a deeper look into the mindset of one of the game's greatest legends. Well, that's all for today. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button, and I'll see you in the next one.